Hello and welcome. It's the completion of the 24th day of September 2019, or 1900 hours and a half, 7:27 p.m. Eastern Time. As I'm doing this video, all bets, trades, and of the like, always within each his own risk and their own reward. And on this channel, what I try not to do is, oh, this is where you go long, this is where you go, or this is where you do this, or it's going to do this. But I actually want to do that, and I do at times. And this is a strong situation, a strong spot here. As I think, if I were to recommend, oh, do you buy, sell, hold, and at what level, I consider this a strong buy at this stage. And the analysis that I'm going to go over will show why I think very soon that this is going to have gains of multiple dollars higher, breaking well past $20 is what I'm predicting. And soon being this week into October. Okay. Multiple time frames, starting off within the one. It always moves. It goes to bear and bull markets several dozens and hundreds of times a year. 4 minute time frame. Pretty much the same thing. It just moves all the time. But over the day, what we can see, and we're going to take a look at this in here. Well, I notice resistance here now becoming support, and since it's managed to get above here at around 1500 hours, there's support. We've had a couple hits of resistance, and it's in a sideways range, and it's in the 18, trying to sneak out above the highs. 18 is really tight or small because of low volatility. It's just a wait and see game, but it's a 4 minute time frame. Will this line mean anything on the 15? Well, let's see. Well, it kind of means a lot. This is very interesting as far as I see it, because when price action came up to this high, well, before this we had the failed breakdown. Gold had one as well too. I have a gold video, and I'm going to have to reference gold to show you why I think the gains on silver are going to be very large. But that's just what I think. Market's going to do what I do. It doesn't care what I think. It doesn't care if your portfolio, what levels or how good or bad you're doing. The market's going to do what it's going to do. But technical analysis has done pretty good before in the past at showing what can happen. So within it, in today's session, after this failed breakdown, we ended up congesting back to this range, and now this little pattern here of just staying and supporting this area where it didn't spend much time at, because it was just there for this period here, barely anything there, establishing this resistance where it already established it before, or just retesting it, I guess, more than anything, that the next quick move is obviously to this previous high. And for now, we'll just put a line on the previous high, and then take this to the next time frame, which is the hourly. And this has been a high not seen in quite some time. After all, we were at this low, and it's had a spectacular move. From this low, well, what was key resistance? Well, that was pretty obvious. It was established right here. Hit multiple times, over and over and over again. And then when it had the attempt to break it here, what happens when you break key levels? Fast, concise moves. It did both, fast and concise. Fast in here with this to move, and concise by having to move to this top like that. So very good setup. You can see more for this failed breakdown, which tells you have this move. You consolidate with this, breaking out above this. The possibilities are huge for a good leg higher. But when I'm talking about gains of multiple dollars, a good leg higher here means, oh, okay, so we were broke 18. We had a little bit, and we had a move of like 70 cents. So what could we have here? Well, maybe another 70 cents, maybe a dollar, and maybe only about 45 or 50 cents more. But when we go longer term, we're going to see why I think, or I'll show you why I think it's going to be multiple dollars that I think is going to be gained. Okay. From this high and from this low. Let me just insert some quick Fibonacci numbers in. We got a high in at 1965. The low on the failed breakdown comes in at 1740. Key numbers are basically the 38 and the 61 are the only two numbers I really care about for the most part. The 23, 6 and 76 I care, but not quite as much because they're I don't know what word I'm trying to use here, but they're secondary is for now, I guess. 1823 and 1876. So 1823. It was this previous area, but that's from this low here, though. So what happened when it came up to it is it did not find resistance at this level. And this is where things get a little interesting, and I've seen the situation happen a few times, but the high, again, was 1876, which is up here. Actually, no, I thought it was a bit higher. No, throw that out. I'm thinking of a situation when, say, for example, if there was, say, a key fib level here, I was thinking, but no, 1876 is just a very good pierce below. Either way, it's easy. This is still easy analysis. What was this high anyway? 1874. So it missed it by a small fraction. It's pretty much ahead. It's just, I say a lot of times on here, usually it's like, and this is a pierce above here, so that's kind of interesting as well too. But within that being said, I mean, that's the whole point in around that area. Because when it hits these levels, you usually get an exact hit, a small bit either below or above. It just seems that like 3 times out of 4, 7 times out of 8, maybe even better, it pierces extra. So this is the pierce less. Anyway, let's get past that. Comes back down here after having a concise move to next key level. And after that, we have 18 average of highs showing the strength, looking like it wants to leave it. What do we got as the next key level after that? Well, the 76.4, so the secondary number, 1909. So that's an area I would expect the next breakout level to go to and see how it plays from there. If I can get free that, well, then now we're looking to break the 1965 even. Now, did 1791 play any significance? Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, of course it did. I mean, always usually does. I mean, come on. Anyway, so that's the 3-hour time frame, and I'm going to remove these Fibonacci lines because it's just the short term from this level to this level. We're moving next to, I'm not going to do the 8-hour chart. Actually, wait a second. Silver moves every, yeah. For stock markets, you don't because it's like only so many hours a day. That's why I was thinking it that way. So let's go the air. But it looks like it's breaking this, and to me, it looks bullish on a lot of these time frames. 8-hour chart, just a beautiful setup again. As from this high, you have this nice correctionary move in here, and then the curve starts to change. And we don't know where, and if you look at the curve again, let me just draw it in again. If you try to do this on a technical level, you know, like this connects, and then from there we're going to connect it like that, and then from there where do we go? We don't know yet, because I need this to have a good correctionary mode. And in this, it came down a bit, but only to the highs and it rebounded. So it's having a good setup. At the same time, price has left the 18. It did so here at the 20 stamp, and another good move, all the sideways correction with that one failed breakdown we can see here that hit the highs. So this is very live to have that bullish move. And whenever you're in a bull market like this and you have you fill some of the empty spaces I talk about, because obviously markets when they're overextended, they need to correct. So it's like, yeah, we got to fill some of this empty space in here. Look at how high it went up from this low. Okay, how much of that space did you fill? Yeah, just that. Okay, so, and it came back to this level, just whatever. But, and I mean whatever like sarcastically, because that's a bullish signal when I say that. And in that, when you see momentum going higher, and if that's its move, then this has this situation where it could have a significant break above. Daily term time frame. This is huge. From this low, you can call this a failed breakdown. Either way, this is so bullish right now. From this high, there's your correctionary mode. Yesterday was exitation of the 18 average of highs. That's big. This is big. Or the day before, I guess. Whatever. And then the holding and this, what's going in here, that's a great post day. I mean, if you're looking at that's a bullish confirmation type thing of what happened yesterday on the statement of resumption, not reversal, resumption of this bull market. Bull market, higher highs, higher lows, high, 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 even high here, higher low, 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 low. So higher high. What's the probability odds here? It looks pretty strong that if it gets here, the only resistance we're going to get is short term, meaning it might come up here and come back here or something, and we'll make another higher low, what bull markets do. And I got 3-day here because cryptos, there's a difference of 7 from day to week, but for silver it's 5. So there's 5 in here. I like to go like each period to be like 4 or 5 times ish or so larger than the other. A lot of choppiness movement overall. That's something we gotta really. I've been saying this for a long, long time. So in that, what it's doing is making its way to the upper end of this range, and we can see the upper end of this range looks close to $21. And that's again, I don't 20. I'm not predicting 21 soon. I'm predicting noticeably higher than that, like 23, 24 ish as a conservative level. But once we get to the monthly, the quarterly, and the post analysis, we'll see more. So all the other short-term time frames are all jolly and fine, or whatever you want to call it. Great, great, great move to the upside in here. And from this point, leaving above this, there's been nice straight up moves before, and of course the most recent ones are just that. Nice straight up move. Is this ready for another one on the early stages? Because whenever a market has a move from here to here, those who go long and want to win quick, those who bet here, here, any of these earlier spots were able to sell these higher spots. So to me, this looks like where the earlier spot, if we're looking at one, is poised to probably be. Next time frame is the monthly. And the sideways range. It's a little deeper in here. As we got, this is support, resistance. Oh no, never mind. Throw that aside. So I think it's going to break this range. And when you break a key level, oh my goodness, it could be pretty big. And when you look at this just in itself, I would not be that strong on 2 things, just without any other information. The other information will tell me I like it bullishly, though. 1, do I like breaking above it? Well, it's going to be nicely overextended here. So in a range-bound market, it's not the strongest. I mean, I'm not surprised if it comes back. No, it's not the strongest of things. It's overextended. Yes, again, if it breaks it, I mean, don't sell here. I mean, 23. I mean, this thing is probably going to go to 26, 27 soon, now that more than I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so that's probably like not the most out of cast things. I wouldn't bet like a strong, huge bet. Just looking at this, that silver is going to have a extended break above. I'm going to bet strong that it's going to go to it and maybe pierce above it. But this is a strong area of resistance. Very strong. We'll see what happens. And let's continue on further with the quarterly. And I'm going to change it to the silver futures because it has more data. And this volume, I'm just going to hide it just because I can see things better. Yeah. So as it stands here, for the now period, we've been in this downtrend, and it came to a correctionary phase in Q2 2016. It has not. It is still that phase has not changed. It entered it. It still hasn't exited. And it got up to the 18 average of highs, but that did nothing to change it in correctionary phase, considering it never even got above it. And in here, if it pierced above it, below it like this, it hit the lows exactly in my book. And it stayed in the 18 average between the lows and the highs throughout all of these periods. Now on the July period, it did an attempt, albeit it didn't work too. It's whispered. There's a good word. It whispered because it barely went below the 18 lows that it was trying to resume the newly bear market. And it would do so by breaking down below the key support of 13 and 2/3. Of course, that never happened. Now, this period, because it has managed to have a clear break above the 18 average of highs, it has done more than whispered the fact, but it most certainly hasn't screamed it as of yet, that it is looking to restart this bull market. Or resume it even, because, well, this is what we got. These Fibonacci lines represent Fibonacci from this low to this high. You had a 61.8% correction, hit a whole bunch of times, spanning from 1982, leaving it in 2003. 21 years. Got up to previous high. It looks like it's a pierce above. I think it's in nominal terms, it's an exact hit pretty much, but a pierce below, but only by probably a couple of dollars or a dollar. This one was like pierce below. It was like 49.80, and I think from what my research, it was like 52, 51, the highest that was traded. But it's like whatever. It's in that area. That's all that matters. And after not supporting but resisting on the way down, the 23.6 from that low to that high, it pierced well above this $12.28 mark, and it's just been stuck in this range. But above the 61.8%, it doesn't lose its bullish hold on the super long term towards that. Now, the fact that I'm saying this on a nominal term, and I'm looking at a chart that spans back before I was born, and I'm starting to feel, every day I feel I'm getting really old. I was I was born when it was consolidating in here. And the inflation since then, how much things cost, it's been devalued quite a lot in my opinion. And it's been due for quite some time, I feel, for monstrous gains. Now, getting above the 18 average of highs on this quarterly time frame and doing stuff has fantastic possibilities. This is stuff leading into the 20s, as we only have one more quarter left in this quarter will end at the end of like probably the end of the week. So then, I mean, this isn't too strong stating that. I mean, really, all this tells me for strength is that we're going to probably head up to 21. That's what this tells me. This doesn't say strongly it's going north, yet that's what I'm saying. And where I'm going to find this with is gold. Gold is what's telling me that it's going to do really good. Now, I already did a gold video, and it's got a very strong setup pattern that it's going to go to this area here. And I wouldn't be surprised if it has a nice move. It makes about a 15% move. So that's my prediction here. Gold's going up 15% and quick. How fast? Well, don't want to spend too much time with this because I already talked about it. There's a nice little bullish setup here. It could be this week. It's end up really October, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's not in the middle to earlier parts of October or the next 3 to 4 weeks. And it could be this week. I think it's going to happen. Now let's go to the gold to silver ratio. And we'll and it's been up so much. And it's a chart that is going to go volatile. It's going to have big moves. And when I talk about these larger moves, even breaking below here, no, that's going to be well in the 20s, of course. So let's look at this where it matters on the daily. I should have started off the daily to begin with, but Okay, what I see here is you had the big move consolidation, big move consolidation. And in here, well, it does concern me in this move here how this exited like it did and the pause that came in as it is. I realize that when you have a situation of a move here, key high, move here, key high, and it's doing this with this aggressive move and it's having this playing at it as it is within the 18. Now, this could still hold and stay above the 18 lows. I realize that. But when I look at this amongst other time frames and see how it's been resisting this key Fibonacci level at 85, how on these two attempts here, it was unable to, well, first it was unable to even match it, but even make it happen then. And then to have the fall like it did at this area and this correctionary move to me seems very weak. It hasn't had a good rally since the big move here. To me, it does seem poised as if this is going to be resistance. We're probably going to leave the 18 average here and head lower. I know 1 hour time frame is all here, whatnot, but that is why I think that's going to come into play. So if gold goes up 15% and most likely will and silver will overperform it, then how much would it be here? And I got a bunch more different lines in here because I want to show some of the Fibonacci and how it's been working lately. Because I put this in a while ago and it's just interesting find. But anyway, 15% on around 1860. Well, buck 80 is 10, so half of that is 90, so 270. That's 15% extra. That works out to 21 and a half. So if it matches, it would take it to that key level. So therefore, I wouldn't be surprised that it actually ends up breaking it. Now, again, I find this very, very interesting. Because even what's cool was before this was happening, I was saying, as it was going down, I think it's going to 1740. Okay. And then it rallies from there, and it hasn't been there since. And gets above this level without any resistance, at least on the 8 hour, and totally resists this and totally supports this, and it looks like it's going to break past this. So short term, 1909 and 1930 are very short term levels to look for before we get to the previous high near 19 and 2/3 amongst the market. As we can see here, I mean, it's just luck that it comes down here and pretty much hits it exact. Like 1823 is the number. The exact number was 1822. 1 cent pierce extra, whatever. But this was pierced less though, this high, because the high here was 1874 and this was 1876. I mean, it's really just luck. This here is 1741. I mean, whatever. Thank you for tuning in to this video. Have yourself a wonderful day and night and whatever. Because when people are watching this, for some person it's the night and some person it's the day. And we're in hyper time, which, I mean, for me, it was about a couple, 3, 4 nights ago. I'm just turning around. It's about 8 o'clock at night, Eastern time. And I look at my window and it's dark. It's really 8 o'clock, dark already? And I know for me, it's going to be dark at like 5 o'clock, even before then, at Christmas. And it's dark at 10 o'clock at the start of summer. Or it starts to get dark at 10 o'clock at night. And then in the morning, and that's what I do look forward to out of the summer is I don't like the sun rising that early. But I remember back in the day getting off of work at 7 in the morning and still pretty much being pitch black. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.